the Taters still have on the traditionals. I mean, it's the fucking ass ugly orange, but I mean, it's the traditionals.
I can kind of agree with you on that, Kale. There's a lot of silliness here. I don't know what in the blue hell Duke and North Carolina were wearing the other night. That looked like shite.
And Gamecock baseball should always at home wear their pinstripe white jerseys. Always. I want to see the red tops. I don't want to see the ones that always. And the roads where they're grays with the black. I mean, I'm sick of the 45 combinations of crap too.
Yeah. I guess I can see that.
I hate going to Sunday games and when they're garnet tops. I go, this just looks like Clemson wears their damn softball uniforms all the time. It looks horrible.
Carlito just sinks 1 of 2 from the line for Pittsburgh.
Carlito's Way. Great movie, by the way. Have you ever seen Carlito's Way?
That's not the Carlito he was talking about.
I know, but I'm
that
just saying.
Looked like Carlito Caribbean Cool, that guy that just shot foul shots.
Underrated movie.
Spit in the face of people who are not cool.
That's who it looks like. A spit in the face. Yeah, the little apple.
Spit in the face of the people who are not cool. Comrade has no clue what the hell that is.
I'm not sure.
He has no clue.
Is that a wrestling reference?
I spit in the face of the comrade because he is not cool.
Can you help Matt Tomlinson figure out freedom of speech, by the way?
That dude never maximized his potential.
Can you teach him?
We'll get into that. All right. We got some
Good Lord.
Oh my God. Here we go. Welcome into the latest edition of the Rob Comrade and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders, your host. I come to you this evening as a Facebook convict 2 times in the calendar year. I can't keep my mouth shut. I'm also represent the Clemson Tigers on this podcast. I have 2 co-hosts. We'll start with the man that got me put in Facebook jail because I refer to him as a dumb Russian, which in reality, he is a dumb Russian. He is the comrade, Mike Dobreski. Mike, good evening, sir.
It is great to be here building something special episode tonight because the Gamecocks are doing just that. Big win tonight for the Gamecocks. Still a long way to go. A long way to go because we shat ourselves early in the year, which still makes me mad that we have to in this position. But right now, we are playing really, really well. Big win tonight. Of course, the Lady Gamecocks just basically said, give us the hardware now. Why play out the season? But go Gamecocks. It's great to be a Gamecock. It's always great to be a Gamecock, especially tonight. Especially tonight.
Gamecock. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Kale Hall is the other portion of our show. Kale, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Rob. Glad to be here as always. Hopefully, things get cleared up on the other end because I did not hear a word of what Comrade just said. But
the show's better when you don't hear of him. I mean, that's just the way that it is. But,
okay, well, that's valid. But
Kale, just say.
Glad to be here. Glad to be a Gamecock tonight. Impressive win on the road by the Gamecocks against a team that we were picked to lose to. As far as Vegas point spread goes tonight, we're a 2.5 point underdog for some damn reason. Absolutely blew them all out of their own gym. Biggest win in that place that I remember since we've been in the SEC. I mean, we totally annihilated and kicked their ass. Monday night, South Carolina women's team, number 1, stayed number 1. Beat up on the UConn women's team. Got the coach to come on during his interviews, and I thought that was funny. Baseball starting up this weekend, right? Looking forward to it. I'm going to make
baseball's getting underway.
Be at the Colonial Life Arena this Saturday night for the game. This will be my first game this year. I'll be signing autographs before the game, depending on what time I get there. 30, 45-minute session, something like that, in the lobby out there on the main concourse, free of charge.
Are you standing near the water fountain, Kale? Is that where you're standing? Is near the water fountain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
In between the men's shitter and the women's shitter.
That's a good place to be.
That water
That's
fountain.
Funny.
Yeah.
I want to respond on to SEC Dog, a Twitter follower, or excuse me, a YouTube follower. He goes, has the fellow to the left gotten over the Joe Burrow beat down yet, or is he still in his feels? Sir, I would acknowledge your existence as a football fan if Joe Burrow screw you.
Oh,
Slow down. And you lost to a 4-8 South Carolina team. Your football team is garbage. Kirby Smart's overrated. Go fuck yourself and die. All right, let's move on.
oh.
Also, we have a couple of sponsors for the show. They include Callaway's Bar and
Someone's mad. Someone is mad tonight.
Just posting facts, gentlemen. That's what I do on this show. I have Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart. You can go by and check them out. They have the best booze, best beer, all that good stuff. Great people are at Callaway's. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. We also have from DNC Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, read away, sir.
Let me pull it up real quick. All right, I've got it. All right. It sucks to be a Gamecock. President Caslin is a documented liar. That actually is true. My team went over Georgia. Now we think we are world leaders. Yeah. Our football win over Georgia was an absolute fluke, and we were all excited over beating a team that is under 500. We don't have any tradition, so we truly do not know how to act. We have to celebrate every win like it's the greatest thing ever. We are the welfare cheese of the SEC. Remember, it sucks to be a Gamecock, but I am so ignorant I can never be a Clemson fan. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Thank you, Dennis, for sponsoring the show. We appreciate it. Already in the books today, the South Carolina basketball team goes on the road and wins at Georgia. I thought the Gamecocks would win, even though the line, if I remember correctly, the line had South Carolina as an underdog there. But
we were 2.5-point underdog.
Yeah, but I thought that was whacked.
Let me tell you right now. Let me promote something real quick. And the peskypole.net today, we have a new kind of simulator we use for baseball. And the last baseball season, we used it. Now it works for all sports, and it predicted a Gamecock win outright today. It also predicted a Clemson win outright tonight. I'm not sure the score is right now. It predicted a Clemson win. So check out the peskypole.net and the YouTube channel, the Pesky Pole. We're going to run it during the basketball season. And, of course, baseball will be going full bore once Major League Baseball season starts.
Yeah, crazy stuff there. Dale, what'd you think about the basketball game tonight?
I like the way that South Carolina came out and just jumped on them like a damn sewing needle, hard, fast, continuous. Just damn built up an insurmountable lead. 4 to 5 scorers in double figures. I mean, they're finally, I think they're over 50% shooting, finally, hitting some free throws, hitting some three-pointers. Just a good win all around. Georgia's not terrible. I mean, they were down big against Missouri the other night and came, if I'm not mistaken. So they're a decent team. They're just as good as the Ole Miss team that we got our shit pushed in by last Wednesday. So all gas, no brakes on that one.
That's funny. Comrade, what'd you think about the
coach? Is a bit of a bitch, though.
Who?
I mean, he really is. What's his name? Tom Cream.
Tom Cream.
Yeah. I like calling him Tom Cream.
He looks like. Do you remember in the early '90s, WWF Harvey Whippleman, a little dude that was like he was like a heel manager for some teams. I can't remember who, but that's who that guy reminded me of. Like a Jared from Subway, just the fucking goof tooth. He was pissed off as hell a couple of times down there on the sideline, but he's not good. He's a retread. He's a retread from Indiana who put their basketball program in the damn shitter. And if you can't win at a blue blood school like Indiana, what makes you think you're going to go to Georgia and be able to win? What's that sound like?
Yeah. That sounds like me.
No. Who does it sound like I'm talking about?
Will Muschamp.
Muschamp, exactly.
That's the boom theory.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that guy's an absolute failure. We all know that. So, but anyway, yeah, I think a big win for the Gamecocks. It should help them in the net rankings. They have a chance to make the tournament. Clemson, on the other hand, they are in the shitter. They're winning 32-24 right now. And see, what's going to piss me off is that Alex Hittaway, the guy that has been on the bench that Brad Brownell just kind of overlooked, yeah, he's out there hitting threes and stuff, which is what the Clemson team needed, a three-point shooter to take some pressure off of Amir Sims. Yeah, let's have that. Yeah, that's not what we're getting, though. So just kind of a disaster. That's what the Clemson team is. So, yeah, there's that. I think that South Carolina has a roundabout chance. I had on Kevin Fitzgerald today from the SEC Network, and he told me that South Carolina has the potential to play their way onto the bubble, but he thinks that the SEC right now has a lock for 3 teams. He said some people are talking about maybe getting 7 teams in. He doesn't see that. He thinks it'll be at about 5, but he thinks South Carolina could be the 6th as long as they don't stub their toe along the way. So I think that's about right, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think they can lose.
I think they lose the game.
They can't. They can maybe lose one more game in the early season, and that puts them at 13-5 for the SEC. I think 13-5. I think they have a good shot at getting in. 12-6. That's 2 losses. I think they got to win the SEC. So that's kind of where I see it right now. But and listen, and it's sad. You would think 12-6 would get you in easily, but it doesn't get you in easily when you've lost to Stetson and Boston University and so forth. Tonight's game, I mean, listen, when AJ Lawson plays like that, and Cousinard plays like that, and Keyshawn Bryant plays like that, this team is unbelievable. I don't mean
to interrupt you, comrade, but for just a second, Kale's cat, if you're watching on YouTube, Kale is being attacked by his cat. And it's pretty damn funny. It really is. I'm sorry, Mike. I just wanted to explain to people so they could hear. You could hear Kale's cat purring. Yeah, but he's trying to attack Kale. I was not able to listen closely. You can hear it now. He keeps putting the cat off of him, but
poor cat.
Kale was a cat guy. I like cats. Cats
I like
are
all
all right.
animals. They're okay.
Well, anyway.
All right, settle down.
Yeah, Kellen's telling him to settle down.
Go over there.
Clemson leads 32-24. Marcus Mariota wants to know who in the hell is that sexy beast in the middle. Apparently, Kale's got a fan.
He's got lots of fans.
Everybody loves Kale. It's kind of funny.
Why would it be funny? Why is it funny?
Here, damn it.
It's funny because he's battling his cat. Kale's a cat battler. Funny. Oh, goodness. Well, anyway. Moving along here, something that we were talking about before we went on the air tonight. I don't know what's going on with all these uniforms. Have you seen some of these uniforms? Kale was talking about it. I don't know what Georgia was wearing, but it looked like crap. Did you see that, man? Terrible.
It's bad, man. I don't know what this era of sports. I mean, it's just bad. Wear your traditional stuff. I can't stand teams that change uniforms all the time. I mean, the cool thing about certain teams, all pro and college teams, okay, is the teams that keep their uniform for a long time, they become a traditional look. If you keep on changing all the time, you have no traditional look. I think like of the Arizona Diamondbacks, for example. Their first uniforms looked great. If they would just keep them all the way through, those are classic-looking uniforms. And I hate the Yankees to death, but the Yankees get it right. They have the pinstripes on. They've had the pinstripes. They don't change it. They don't wear blue tops on the road. They wear the gray. and that's like the traditional thing, and that's why they sell so much crap too. I mean, keep your stuff, keep your damn uniforms, and
Kale,
make them traditional.
Uniforms. What do you think of the Georgia uniforms, Kale?
Well, they look like shit. I mean, it looked like a practice jersey. It looked like they were wearing practice jerseys. I don't know what they were trying to get over. I mean, it wasn't like some special game that they were wearing them for. It was on a Wednesday night. They had no crowd there. The atmosphere was terrible from what I could see. Place is a dump anyway. So, I mean, by God, the fucking atmosphere is bound to be fucking terrible. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's a waste.
It is a waste. And I agree with
even if your athletic budget is big as balls, like Georgia says,
right.
It's still a damn waste.
Well, here's something interesting. I used to do, and Comrade did this with me one season, where we called baseball games for the Four Stakers Classic. And I noticed that AC Flora High School had, like, every game they had a different uniform. Well, I think I asked their coach about it, and they said that I think he told me it was the high school league or something, but basically when you win a state title, you get a different look in uniforms. So that's what they do. They show off, since they've won so many state titles, they have different uniforms. But I agree with Mike on this. I think for South Carolina, it should be the block C and the black helmets across the board for probably the away games. And then you should probably go for the helmets, the block C and the garnet helmets at home are fine. But also at home, wear your whites. That's what you should do. And then on the road, you could go with the black pants and the garnet top. But for Clemson, I think it should be the same way. They normally wear white and the orange pants, or white and the purple pants. But these people changing stuff all the time.
You can't dictate what you wear in the road, because you can't wear your dark colors if the home team is wearing their dark colors. So they can't, like the Dallas Cowboys have this issue, okay? And the Cowboys started changing this year. The Cowboys are one of the few teams that still wears their whites at homes. Usually, like in the 80s growing up, everyone did that. And so because all the teams have changed their darks at home, the Cowboys always wear their white. And the Cowboys started this year wearing their dark blues at home, I think for just merchandising reasons, because you never see those jerseys anymore. So the road jerseys you can't really dictate. It's based on what the home team does. But I wish we'd pick something to stick with it. I get that people get all pumped up on Wednesday night when we have that video come out and what we're wearing. Oh, battle armor! Oh, it makes me kind of like mad that Gamecock fans to get that excited over what we're wearing that week. I rather just know what you're wearing every week. I just don't get that whole thing. But I guess I'm old.
Well, Coach Sweeney said this about one of the first things he implemented was we're wearing the same damn thing every week. So, but he said the team was more worried about how they look instead of the game plan, is what he said. And the only change is in November for championship season. They wear orange pants. That's
orange breeches. Orange breeches, they call them. The breeches, gotta see breeches. You got to be different and special.
It's a tradition. You don't know anything about tradition.
Breeches.
Understand?
I'm wearing the breeches.
Listen to me, you Yankee.
I just
like that. Shut up.
The problem is here's what I hate. It's like Clemson fans read out of the same damn manual. It cracks me up the phrases you use and how they just spread like wildfire. Like it's like a cult almost. It really is. It's all the same term.
Orange britches. Who else says orange britches besides us?
I'm just saying though. No, that's what I'm saying. So that's a term you coined. Everyone uses that term. Britches.
Oklahoma State.
The orange britches. It's just. You guys are cultish. It's like a little cult up there in the corner of the state. You're all backwards as hell.
You're not helping, Kale.
Syracuse.
They don't call them britches, Kale.
Britches.
What?
They don't call them britches. That's what we're talking about.
Syracuse doesn't.
This carpetbagging bastards bitching.
Syracuse.
We're wearing the britches.
They call them fucking pants.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Cuse, baby. The Cuse in the house. Oh my God! Oh God!
By the way, I've already predicted on the show that South Carolina will lose to Kentucky this year. They'll also lose to Georgia as well, because I know that a lot of Gamecock fans are talking about we own Georgia. Yeah, but you're going to lose to Georgia in football this year. They may get you again in baseball, by the way. I think you'll drop that series to them. So, yeah, that'll probably happen too. Remember the last time you played them, you went out with a big fat 0, because that's what happens. So, are you guys even remotely excited about baseball season? I mean, nobody knows what the hell.
Are you asking me that? Are you really asking me that question?
I'm asking you that because your team's probably going to be a shithole, Mike.
First of all, okay, let me explain something real quick to you. Okay, if our baseball
probably still
team,
be playing in June.
If our baseball team is horrible, I still enjoy baseball. I mean, I might get frustrated, but first of all, I like this. I mean, I like potential of this team. I think we got some good potential. There's a few things I'm worried about. Number one, I'm kind of worried about our closer, Daniel Lloyd. Okay, if he can't do a good job in the closing role, and apparently he's really improved since last year. He's picked up, I guess, a pretty good slider or cutter, I believe I'm reading. If he can't do a good job, then that means that Brett Carey has to come out of the rotation and become the closer. And that is not good because starting pitching is more important than the bullpen. I mean, it's they pitch more. It's more important to have that Saturday starter, which Brett Carey is going to be. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. If Lloyd is legit, then Brett Carey can stay in the rotation. I think with the offense we have, I think we can put some runs up. We're supposed to be a little bit more balanced, not quite as much swing for the fences, power guys. It could be a fun season. We have a lot more depth, a lot more options now for the lineup. Lots of different lineup combinations we have this year with second base, with Noah Campbell, maybe playing the outfield a little bit because we got some second basemen, infielders coming up who can play a little bit. So Mark Kingston has a lot of things he can do this year. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how he kind of figures out what the lineup is going to be like in the rotation, because it all changes. I mean, the one thing you'll see for the first 3 series won't look like things, come, April in the SEC. So I always like college baseball that way because these guys are all new, not all new, but you have so much turnover in college baseball. It's not like a Major League Baseball team that it really kind of organically transforms during the season to see who's your lineup every day, who's your rotation, everything. So,
yeah, well, Comrade gave us the whole breakdown on the season there, and that's great. Kale, what do you think about the team, man? Are you excited about the season or not?
Yeah, I'm always excited. I mean, I think they'll be competitive. Got to level with you. I don't follow college baseball as much as I should. I don't follow it like I do basketball or obviously football, but I'm more of a Major League Baseball dude. But I think
that's fine. You get into it. That's fine, Kale.
we all got our different things we get into, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Look, one of the things that I like about having you on the podcast is that you're generally very honest. So I can appreciate that. So don't if you don't follow it, that's fine. The Comrade and
I do to a certain point, but as far as knowing who all these JUCO players are we got coming in, and I couldn't fucking tell you who the hell we got or who the damn starting lineup's going to be, none of that shit. But give me a while. I'll watch it and see what's going on. Tell you what I think about them.
Well, one of the things that I want to do on the podcast is that starting after the spring game, we have how many teams are in the SEC? 14, right?
Yep.
We have 14 teams in the SEC. 14
powerhouses.
14.
It's true. He's not lying.
No, what I meant to say is that I'd like us to take a team a week and just kind of break them down, what we think about them after after the spring games and all of that are over with. So we can do that. That's
like
28 teams right there. So we can start with the shittiest of shitty, and then work our way up, and then our last two will be both South Carolina and Clemson. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I thought that we were the shittiest of shitty.
No, I mean Vanderbilt's right there.
Okay.
You don't.
At least Vanderbilt can beat fucking Missouri. God almighty.
They could. That would be funny. That would be really funny. Anyway, so we have that. There, it's, why don't we talk about the Braves for a minute? I know Kale follows the Braves. Looking at the Braves this season, the Marcelo Zuna signing I thought was good. Wondering what they're going to do at third because I like Johan Camargo.
That's kind of, you know what? That's kind of like the platoon they're going to do. It's going to be Austin Camargo. It's going to be Austin Riley, and so it could be a good platoon right there.
Already though, who's the free agent pitcher they signed? Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
They signed Cole Hamels, and he's already fucking hurt.
I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, he was fucking badass.
He was.
I wouldn't get real concerned.
I mean, he really was. He's probably like the best pitcher in the league.
Yeah, listen, and when he came back to National League, he's much better in National League than he was pitching in Texas in a ballpark that just I think Rob get a home run in Texas, the ball just flies. He came back to National League, pitched well. Last year had some injury issues. I wouldn't get too concerned. This is a veteran pitcher. I have a feeling they want to limit his innings anyway, and the whole 3-week, pushing back for spring training is their way just to ease him in. You got Cole Hamels for the playoffs, okay? You didn't really get him for the regular season. You got him for a veteran you can do down the stretch in October, and so I think they're gearing him towards that. They're not going to sit there and say, hey, we need you for opening day. It's more for the stretch run. So I think it's a good signing. It's a 1-year deal. If it doesn't work out, you're not committed long-term to it. So Braves fans are panicking already. I would kind of hold on with that. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
Mike, I think one of the big things with the Braves, though, is that they lost Julio Teheran. And the thing with him is that, have they lost him or is he still on? I don't even know. Did they cut Teheran? He's with the Angels now.
Yeah, they
pretty much, he's
they
gone.
could have tied for $12 million. They went to the Angels. And listen, I used to defend Julio. People got on him a little bit much, So, I think they wanted kind of more of the left-handed presence. You can argue why they didn't bring him back. He's pretty cheap, but I guess it was time to move on. Is all I can think of. But I think he was underrated though. Braves fans would get on him a lot, and he would always be. But listen, he's going to start opening day for the Braves now forever. Because usually every year, he's been the ace, but when he has been the ace, be injuries and things going on, they'll give him a start. So he's had a lot of opening day starts. I think he's up there in Braves history for opening day starts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So all the great pitchers they've had, he's among the leaders of all time in franchise history of opening day starts. It's a pretty cool thing to look at.
That's true, man. Well, I think they're going to miss him because his numbers weren't great, but he 8 innings, and when you have to have a guy that can do that, I think with in the majors, and I think the Braves are going to be fine on that front as far as hitting. I don't know if they're going to have enough pitching, to be completely honest with you.
Well, it came out today. The Bakota rankings came out, and they have the Mets winning the NL East with the Nationals second and the Braves third, I believe, and the Phillies right there. So, all real close, all within 3 games to each other. The Phillies, all those top 4 teams there. So it's really cool. And NL East is really must-see TV. I mean, it's the best, division, I think, top to bottom. Even the Marlins, who are horrible, are starting to get some young talent there. I mean, they're still the team you beat up on. And really, they determined the NL East champion. Every year, you want to find out who wins the NL East. It's who had the best record against the Marlins. Because there's some teams, like the Phillies this past year, the Marlins killed them. They didn't kill them, but the Phillies were, I think, either a 500 or below 500 against the Marlins. And that's the difference.
Kale,
The
tell us
Braves
what you're
killed
upset
them.
about. Kale's giving us the finger. What are
You fucking
about?
Clemson. God damn it.
Did you bet on Pitt, sir?
No, I didn't bet on them. But God damn it, you know how I get. I fucking can't say. I don't give a fuck what you're fucking playing. I want you to get your damn ass beat. They just hit some fucking 3-pointers on a damn row, and they're up by 15. How the hell can Pittsburgh get themselves in that damn situation? To be behind you fuckers by 15 points in their own gym. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Well, the one good thing that does come out of
That
this
coach
is,
should have his foot put up his ass.
well, the one good
They're more concerned about what their stupid ass damn uniform than playing the damn Clemson game.
well, but
Hey, girl.
the one thing I'm trying to give you something good that comes out of this, Kale. The comrade system looks like it works.
It
Well,
does.
I know, I understand that, but there's 15 other teams on our schedule that we've beat that I'd be glad to see take a W, except for you fuckers.
This does help our our RPI or net rankings. Clemson doing well.
Yeah,
So
maybe,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
But
Stetson can make a run in the
Well,
Atlantic Sun.
you never explained this. So for the folks that are here now, why is it that you despise Clemson so much?
I don't know.
There has to
I
be
really
something.
don't.
When you were a little boy, did someone take a Clemson penis hammer to the head of your wiener? What the hell happened to you, Kale? Come on, Kale. It had to be something.
When I was in middle school, everybody was a Clemson fan. You know, I was like the only Gamecock fan in the school. I mean, there may have been one or two others somewhere, but they hit it. And I remember, Robbie, I had this little Gamecock bag. It's like a little athletic bag. And I took my school books in it. And we had season tickets back then. And I'm one of the bigger kids. He knocked it out of my hands one day. And, you know, he was a Clemson fan. And the teacher, instead of helping me out to pick it up, he laughed at me, Robbie, and said, "Let it stay down there."
Yeah.
And I gathered it up, and it was all dirty and everything. But I took it home to my mom, and she washed it. But they were just mean to me. It's because of the team that I liked. And you know what? I said, you know what? Fuck you guys. So I will never, ever, ever support you in shit ever. And I haven't.
So that's what it goes back to, is that?
That's where I can trace the roots back to. Yeah.
Holy shit. Why do I feel like I'm Dr. Phil trying to fix Kale here? So
you're not going to. So
you don't want Clemson to succeed in anything, right?
No.
What if Clemson were playing the Taliban? Would you root for the Taliban?
I've already told you how that goes. I would put a rag on my head. It would be garnet and black. And I would say, motherfuckers, let's go kick some ass.
So you would play for the Taliban against Clemson?
I absolutely would. I would play for the Russians or the damn North Koreans. I don't give a shit.
Koreans? That's funny.
The land of the rising sun, whatever.
That is really funny. I truly got nothing on that.
Kuwaiti nationals.
You know, our final thing I want to get into tonight before we get out of here, and this is something they posted on the who was it? Was it the ESPN Upstate page where they said something that I said a while back, but we haven't had Kale talk to us about this yet. About how Clemson basketball is essentially the same thing as South Carolina football. I mean, I agree with that. I don't agree with the reasons that they gave when they were talking about lack of interest and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, if you go to a South Carolina game, I'd say 90% of the time, the stadium's going to be filled to 90% capacity or better. I think that's fair to say that. If you go to a Clemson basketball game, there are a lot of games where Clemson will have Little John at about 60, 70%, especially in the end of January and February when they're pretty much a shithole. So, but I wouldn't have used that reason. But as far as historically, I think they're basically on the same level. Kale, what do you think?
I kind of challenge that. I mean, Clemson didn't really put together a string of, like 3 consecutive years where they finished in the upper echelon of the AP basketball top 25 that I remember. But I
think it's
don't
closer
know.
than people want to. And
They've won a conference championship in their more recently than the Gamecocks have in football.
Yep.
I can say that. But I don't know. They have the Clemson play. You play. You on a normal schedule. You'll play more. And I know UNC's down this year big time, but you'll play more elite opponents on your basketball schedule than South Carolina will on a normal football schedule. And sometimes you can take advantage of that. So there's that. I don't know. That's an apples to oranges comparison to me.
I just think
sense.
From a traditional standard, generally South Carolina finishes near the bottom of the East, middle of the East, whatever. And Clemson is pretty much the same way in basketball. They're a little bit better than some, but not quite better than anybody else. They'll have a couple of flukes here and there and do something like going to the Sweet 16. But in all actuality, they're pretty much the same. Comrade, I know what you're going to tell me, though. We had 3 top 10 finishes, Rob.
Well, historically, South
Carolina get a fucking banner.
We could compare this historically. South Carolina basketball and Clemson basketball are pretty much about even.
No, I disagree with that because South Carolina basketball has been to a Final Four.
We have been to
And the Frank McGuire era was pretty unreal, too.
You also have NIT championships, and those are important because they are actually championships.
Okay. Fuck it. I was trying to throw you a bone there, but
no, I don't need a bone. I can stay with it.
Well, take it.
Shout out to Dennis Wilson. The Clemson softball team had a no-hitter this afternoon against Western Carolina as they won that.
Woo!
No-hitter. That doesn't happen very often. No. So, anyway.
What the?
Kale's funny.
What?
What? Go ahead.
Well, they lose still all their fucking bats. I mean, how? Who had the no-hitter? Western Carolina?
No.
That's embarrassing.
Pitcher threw a no-hitter.
Okay. Well, with them damn girls, Western Carolina had to play no damn fucking softball. That damn redneck college at Cal College up there. They're probably up there too busy up killing a damn bear or something. Elk.
Funny. That's really funny. Anyway. All right. Well, Comrade's theory looks like it's coming true here as Clemson's up. How much are they up, Kale? What are they up? 13, 15?
I don't even know now. It's too painful to watch.
Too painful to watch. Too painful to watch. By the way, by the time we come back on our show on Sunday, the first baseball series of the season will be underneath the belts of both teams. Clemson plays Liberty. South Carolina. Who do you guys got? Who?
Holy Cross.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross. Yep. Wow. I don't know. That could be interesting. Interesting stuff there. We'll see how the baseball season goes. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about baseball when we come on the air on Sunday night. Clemson's next game is, I think, Saturday at home against Louisville, I think, in basketball.
Who is this coach for Pittsburgh? This Jeff Capel? Who was he? Who was he the coach of before this?
He's part of the Krzyzewski tree. I think he left.
He went to wasn't he at Wake Forest for a little while or no?
No, Danny Manning's been at Wake Forest.
I thought
I
he
thought
was
he had a head coaching job somewhere, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but he's part of that Krzyzewski tree. So, but they've been playing a lot better. Like they've won up more games this year than they did last year, and we still got half a month here to play. But Clemson's season's in the shitter. If they win this game, they'll be 12-12. Let's clap for that. Woo, buddy. 12
Back to 500.
Back to 500. But you want to know the best part? The Clemson fans, all they're going to tell you is, well, wait a minute, Rob. We beat North Carolina on the road. We beat North Carolina State. We beat Duke. Yeah, and you're still 12-12.
North Carolina lost
shithole.
last night to Wake Forest by 20 points.
Yeah, they lost to them by 20 points, and Coach Williams last night looked like somebody had shot him. He really, really did. So we'll see how that works out for us. I truly don't know what the hell to do with Clemson hoops. I wish I had something great to say, but I don't. Comrade, do you have anything else for the show tonight?
No, baseball this weekend, obviously, but Gamecocks play Tennessee at home on Saturday at 6 p.m. That's a big game. We kind of let that game with an early New Year slip away from us. Then at Mississippi State a week from tonight. And then the following Saturday, another big game, LSU. LSU is a big resume building game. I think that's a must win. I think that will, if we can win that one there and go, maybe they can go still 12-6 if we have that win. It's one of our 12 maybe. But that's a huge game. We get LSU and Tennessee win the next 3 in a row. I think we can start to really realistically say we can get to the March Madness. We don't win these 3 in a row, then I think we're NIT bound unless we pull off the SEC championship in March. But so the Gamecocks, no room for error, my friend. No room for error. Get it done. Trust in Frank and building something special.
Oh, God. Here we go. Clemson's up by 19 now. Kale's going to go and, go into his
I'm telling you right now, get
out
on the
with
Pesky Pole YouTube channel because the simulator is working.
I mean, it is what it is.
I'm about to go 4-0 on the college basketball picks right now. 4-0 on college basketball. I got to check the Marquette game.
Sucks.
But, at worst, we'll be 4-1 on college basketball. Check the Pesky Pole YouTube channel. Go to it, find it, and you'll see the simulator at work for tomorrow night. We'll do it all weekend long. We'll ride the hot hand.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, there's
Lord
that.
have mercy.
Clemson's up by 18.
I'm sorry. This team you're playing, they are a show.
They are.
There's that. It's nothing you're doing. It's just they suck. So
thanks for sharing that with us, Kale.
You're welcome.
They'll still be 12-12 if they win, so they're still a shithole. I mean, they really are. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys checking us out, and with that, this show's a wrap.